Welcome to ToxicGeeks.com reviews here. Justin here. We're going to be reviewing Shadow of the Colossus for the PlayStation 4. Here's a brief product description and story description of the game. And we're going to get right into it by talking about characters, gameplay, graphics, music, and of course our final score. Rebuilt from the original ground up by Bluepoint Games in Japan studio, Shadow of the Colossus on PlayStation 4 system introduces the all of its unforgettable world and towering creatures to a new generation of gamers, while allowing long-time fans to revisit the beloved masterpiece with unparalleled visuals and improved performance. And here is an overview of the story. The story of Shadow of the Colossus begins as Wanderer enters the Forbidden Land, traveling across the long bridge at its entrance on his horse, Agro. Unknown to the player, prior to entering the Forbidden Land, Wanderer had stolen an ancient sword, which is the only weapon capable of slaying the Colossi of the Forbidden Land. Led to Master's Shrine of Worship at the center of the region, Wanderer carries with him the body of a maiden named Mono. A moment later, several man-like shadowy creatures appear and prepare to attack Wanderer, before he easily dismisses them with a wave of ancient sword in his possession. After vanquishing the shadow creatures, the voice of the disembodied entity known as Dorman echoes from above, expressing the surprise that Wanderer possesses the weapon. Wanderer requests that Dorman return Mono's soul to her body, to which Dorman states that may be possible on one condition: that Wanderer can destroy the 16 idols lining the temple's hall by using the ancient sword to kill the 16 colossi located throughout the land. Despite being warned by Dorman that he may have to pay a great price to revive Mono, Wanderer sets out to search the land for the colossi and destroy them. One thing I absolutely love about Shadow of the Colossus story is that it says a lot by not telling a lot. And I know for writers, you know exactly what I'm talking about, so let me try to elaborate with this. This game barely has any cutscenes. This game barely has any dialogue that really moves the story forward. However, somehow the story is miraculously able to be told and giving you a quick characterization of Wanderer just by his actions, by the plight that he's going through. You feel the mission that is at hand here. And it's a basic setup of a story. Kill the 16 Colossus, save the girl. But somehow, the way the characterization is, the way his plight is, the way everything is going for it, I really absolutely enjoy this story. It's one of the classics. There's a reason why this is probably called the greatest PS2 game ever made. It's because of the way the story is, the way everything is presented. It's done in such a unique way and done with so much care. And this is proof that sometimes less can say more than you just bringing the whole plot, the whole story out. And it has one of the most shocking endings in video games. Even before Red Dead Redemption, it has one of the most shocking endings to a video game to this day for me. I really did enjoy it. And they kind of allude to what the end is going to be with the warnings and everything else. And I would say for those who really are dialogue heavy, that need dialogue, there is a couple of cutscenes and there is things that the Dorman and the other idols say to him that kind of moves the story forward. But basically the game is more about the environment, the gameplay, which I'm going to talk to you guys right now. Gameplay. This is being billed as a remake. And I would say, for the most part, it plays exactly the same guy with a few minor control tweaks. Of course, the controls to move Wanderer and Agro are a little bit more adjusted. You still feels the same way, but it feels much more smoother. Camera is no longer a huge issue now. Camera, just the use of the right stick and the way it just moves around circularly, it just works very well this time. I really did enjoy it. One thing I really do always say about Shadow of the Colossus is one of the few games that actually really does give you a cinematic feel. And I'm not just, it's a gameplay that gives you a cinematic feel. And just the way the scope is, it's a very basic, easy gameplay to do. You have to figure out where the Colossus kill points are. I like to call them kill points. And you use that by using the ancient sword. So basically you use the ancient sword as you're climbing this platformer / action adventure game. You find the few weak points of the Colossus and you just got to keep stabbing it in order to kill the Colossus. It's a pretty simple gameplay, but just the way the scale is, the graphics, the presentation, it just makes it such a beauty to immerse. And especially with the PS4 graphics, it's a complete upgrade from the PS2 to the 3D remastered PS3 edition. PS4, if you're gonna play this game, do it in the PS4. Just the visuals alone, the spectacle, the use of the artwork, it just really kind of now definitely brings the art to life, especially cinematography. And I barely ever talk about camera work in a video game, but that's why I say it has a cinematic feel to it. Just the scope of how the lands look, the scope of the cinematography, just the scope of how everything is handled. It looks absolutely amazing. One of the best graphics for Shadow of the Colossus. If this is definitely, this should have been the remastered version that we got. I would have preferred them not to re-release it for the PS3. This went straight to 4. There is some new additions with secret, once you beat the game, for secret locations and everything else that have been added to just twist things around. But for overall, it plays exactly the same. The Colossus pressure points and the weak points are still in the same spot. So if you've beaten this game 100 times over and you just want to have the best possible graphics to explore, then definitely this is the edition that you need to get. Once again, music sounds great. I believe it was re-recorded to give it more of an orchestra sympathy feel. And the music, once again, I would have to say this, you guys, the music is still, to me, one of the best video game soundtracks ever. I keep repeating it in this review, I'm sorry for it, cinematic feel. It has such a cinematic feel with so much emotional, and just the way the music is, the action, it brings so much intensity, especially when you're hanging for dear life on the Colossus. You can't beat it. So overall, you guys, Shadow of the Colossus is a great remake. Looks beautiful. Story is still incredible. The gameplay is still the same for the most part, with a very few improved tweaks. It runs at 60 FPS on your PlayStation Pro. It works very well. It's very beautiful to look at. Heartbreaking story. Great story, by the way. Gameplay solid as ever. I would definitely give this, as always, we have a buy it, rent it, skip it, buy it. Buy it, buy it, buy it, buy it, buy it, buy it, buy it. I don't care if you have it already. Buy it again for the PS4. If you've never played it, this is the definitive version that you need to play. It is gorgeous. It's beautiful. It's challenging at that. I will say that the curve, it gets higher. One thing I really did like is that the game gets harder as you go. The Colossus gets smarter. It's not something that's, okay, I'm just going to do this and boom, it's over. No, it gets harder. It gets challenging, especially the 16th Colossus. I think we all had headaches with that one. But overall, you guys, masterpiece, still a masterpiece to this day. It's at an affordable price. Get it, you guys. Shadow of the Colossus PS4 is a must-have, must-buy. Buy it. This is Justin from otakusandgeeks.com saying later days. Catch you on the next one. And don't forget to visit otakusandgeeks.com for more news, reviews on everything from anime to zombie. We do everything. From movies and everything else. So, later days. Peace.